woman because working for Diddy for 6 years trained me to have to be perfect.
Working for Diddy?
Absolutely.
I love Diddy.
My nizzle.
You know, he's a good friend of mine. He's a good guy. Is he a good guy?
I don't want to answer that question.
Oh, wow. I think he's a good guy. I'm going to stick up for him. All right.
Hey, Al. You ready? Let's do it. Yeah.
I just wanted to go over this really quick. Last week, by the way, I'm outside, I'm near a church, and there's like some homeless guy around the corner trying to listen in to what I'm saying. But anyways, he might be a reptilian. Last week we got some news about the Trump and, the Diddy trial, right? And some information was disclosed about how a lot of the freak-off parties were happening at Trump's International Hotel in New York, and that Trump knew about it, and that Trump gave Diddy a key. His staff gave Diddy a key for unlimited use, basically. He could just go in and out, have as many freak-off parties as he can, and at least 2 women were reported to have been abused by Diddy at Trump's hotel. And this was on the Daily Beast. Okay, that guy's back. Hold on a second. Oh, no, it's I'm literally recording outside and there's like people walking around. Look at the Daily Beast for article from last week here. Trump Hotel was Diddy's favorite, a former aide says. So during these Diddy trials going on, nothing can be recorded. So we got news crews there reporting everything. Everything is drawn, also illustrated. You've probably seen some of the drawings of what's going on in the courtroom. And what's happening, what was released was basically one of Diddy's workers was over there with Diddy at Trump's International Hotel and was given a key for Diddy to use anytime he wanted. Okay, so did Trump know what was going on at those freak-off parties? Well, if you guys look at one of my last videos from way back, I don't even remember how long ago that was. I haven't posted in so long. So if you go to here, 6 months ago, I was talking about how there was an article from Indisputable and how one of the guests said that they saw Trump there at the freak-off parties. So it's not like this is, completely out of the blue. Nobody has ever heard of it. In fact, I think I have a clip here somewhere. Let me close this. Close that. I got a clip here from remember when Trump did The Apprentice? And he says Trump says
This woman because working for Diddy for 6 years trained me to have to be perfect.
Working for Diddy?
Absolutely.
I love Diddy.
My nizzle.
You know, he's a good friend of mine. He's a good guy. Is he a good guy?
I don't want to answer that question.
Oh, wow. I think he's a good guy. I'm going to stick up for him. All right.
Okay, so you heard it there. Trump defending Diddy, saying he was basically one of, he's a good friend. And he's going to stick up for him. So he knew what was going on. There is a lot of pictures with Trump and Diddy together. That is undeniable. You see them, at parties, probably some of them freak-off parties, probably some other types of events, of course. But Melania is always there. Of course, now, this is all, a lot of people are saying that this whole Diddy case is very similar to the Epstein case, which I agree. But you gotta understand that for some reason, Trump has been hanging out with every single, basically human trafficker in the industry and in politics, that, trafficked some sort of underage people. Here he is with Roy Cohn. in the 80s. You guys can look up Roy Cohn, actually. He was around, started around like the, I think, 60s, up in the 70s, 80s. And he was one of Trump's mentor or somebody who, advisors, basically. So why was Trump hanging around with him? And now with this Diddy trial, right? It turns out that there's also a mastermind, basically this monster behind Diddy. The guy that taught Diddy everything that he knows, Clive Davis. Clive Davis is another person that basically should be responsible somewhat in this case, but they're trying to put the blame on Diddy, okay? They're not bringing other people into this. They want Diddy for some reason. And but really, the guy that taught Diddy everything that he knows, and I'll post a link. Actually, there's a cool video around here that I got a link to. This video basically explains everything about Clive Davis, so I'm going to link that in. But not just that. So what I'm saying basically is that Trump was hanging around with the Epstein of the 80s, Roy Cohn, back in the day. Then he started hanging around with Epstein. Then after Epstein, he was hanging around with Diddy, and the music executives, everyone. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that everybody is involved. A lot of people are. Trump is definitely involved. I've been doing here research, looking at other articles and stuff about. I mean, just look at it. I mean, if you want to look, even Jimmy Kimmel's talking about it. Trump is basically, he's involved, providing the location to the freak-off parties. Look, if you want to look up pictures of Trump and Diddy, there's a lot of them. It's ridiculous, but this is what's going on, guys. Trump is a lot more involved in a lot of these things that we know about, and somehow, who knows? Like, a lot of people are saying maybe Trump will pardon Diddy. I doubt it. I think they're trying to pin everything on Diddy, basically. And let me see what other information I got here. This is information talking about Roy Cohn. I'm probably gonna link this. He also not only he taught everything that he taught Trump everything that he knows. And this guy was, just a terrible, terrible dude. I think there's even some information about him and how, he had sex slaves, and he was a CIA ringleader over here. I'm probably going to link these articles in there. Roy Cohn, the CIA pedophile ring leader, and an evil mechanism of political control. So this guy was also a Republican. This guy also wanted Trump to run for president. And then we see him hanging around Clive Davis. And Clive Davis, I'm not going to get into Clive Davis, but there's a lot of information about how he basically signed Diddy. That's when Bad Boy Records was created. And I heard Russell Simmons basically sexually abused Diddy. And they taught him how to use drugs, and they taught him the game. And this is what that's what turned Diddy into basically one of them, right? And then he started doing the same thing that Clive Davis taught him to Usher, to, a lot of his artists, right? But yeah, like I'm saying, why is there pictures of Trump and Clive Davis? And why is there pictures of Trump? A lot of pictures with Trump and P. Diddy. Melania is always there. And we got a picture here with Trump and Russell Simmons. And this is going way back into like the 70s and 80s, basically, with Trump. So Trump's hung around every single human trafficker there is. I don't think there's any excuse. We shouldn't give him any more excuses, because he is covering up the Epstein list. It's like, you know what? People are blaming it on Pam Bondi. Really, she works for Trump. Who the hell do you think she takes orders from? You think if Trump insisted, hey, get the Epstein files out now. Trump is in the Epstein files. I'll link another video showing how him and his whole family are in the Epstein list, right? But this is going back way back. He tied himself, this Roy Cohn guy way back in the 70s and the 80s, he tied himself closely to the Republican Party. Okay. Some of the people, this is just another article I found about how, you know, basically Zionists are behind it. Basically it went from Roy Cohn to Epstein working with Mossad, to then it's just this whole system, this whole web of people who just so also happen to be some of them Israel lobbyists. And this guy's talking about Executive Lucian Grange, who is basically, I think he was also working as a music executive for Diddy, and also paying for a lot of the freak-off parties. You see, the freak-off parties were paid by Universal Music Group CEO Lucian Grange. So this guy is also being named in the trial, in the P. Diddy trial. He's getting named. But what I'm trying to say is that why is Trump always connected to all these people? And why does it go back, way back before? And you might be saying there's no way Trump can be a pedophile, but we've been knowing that he is. Not only is he on the Epstein list, there was here we go. An accuser said that she was basically, Epstein took her to meet Trump when she was 14. Okay. That's pretty gross. And I think she worked as I think this is Virginia Giuffre. I think she worked as a massage therapist for Donald Trump, but obviously they were using her for something else. And here's Trump admitting basically that he was friends with Epstein. He said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do. Many of them are on the younger side. Well, they were interchanging women. And they weren't women. They were like, you know, underage people, which is not right. Look at this. One time, Trump took a 13-year-old girl to a party with Jeffrey Epstein. You know, it's like, this guy is involved with with Epstein, with Mossad, with Israel lobbyists, with AIPAC, with Jeffrey Epstein. He went to the Diddy parties. He's on the Diddy list. He's on the Epstein list. I mean, what else can I say about this freaking guy? This guy is ridiculous, man. And this whole Republican thing of him running has been planned ever since he was hanging out with Roy Cohn. And the whole thing is to push Zionism and to also cover up any of their crimes and blame it on people like Diddy, right? Of course, Diddy is not innocent. I'm just saying, like, everything Diddy learned was from Clive Davis, right? What article is this? Irish people are always trying to reveal the truth. See, Diddy, he R-worded 2 women in Trump's hotel, a penthouse. Okay, this has been news. This is a lot of this stuff is just getting brought up again. And then guess what else I found? Guess what else I found? This guy, what was his name? Lucian Grange, the one that was paying for the... So this guy, right, Lucian Grange, was paying for the freak-off parties going on, for Diddy, going on in Trump's hotels. Okay? And look who this guy hangs around with. What is this? What is going on here? Now you understand why Kanye... You think that Kanye is calling out the Zion... He doesn't even call them Zionists because he's so ignorant. He just calls them Jews. He assumes that all Jews are like the same, right? You really think that this guy, right, is not involved? He never went to a freak-off party, right? And he's saying he's calling out the Jews, right? But he's actually here in a picture working with the Jews with the MAGA hat on. So this is a plan. This whole thing is, it's just phony. It is Zionist, but there's a lot of weird shit going on with Epstein, with everything with the Epstein. They're covering that up. All that shit's been destroyed. Trump had it destroyed. And I believe that they planned this a long time ago for Trump to take power. First of all, to fake this whole unaliving of Epstein, to cover that up. Then for him to run again when the Epstein list is about to be released, all the documents, the Epstein documents, and cover that up because that's what's going on right now, right? That's exactly what's going on right now. And this whole thing with Kanye, he is actually working for the Zionists. Why? Because he's a tool that is being used so that they have an excuse to pass these anti-Zionist speech laws that are going to be coming into effect in the near future, because I truly believe that Trump is going to let it happen. Okay. He's talking about how he's distancing himself from Israel, but he's really not. He's really working with the Saudi Arabians because, first of all, they got a lot of money. And they got a whole AI infrastructure that is way ahead of the United States. What Trump is doing is working with the Saudi Arabians. He wants to be like China. He keeps mentioning the Chinese AI. We gotta beat it. We gotta be better than that. The whole point, if you go to China, you talk to anyone, you can't, because they are all controlled by a Chinese Skynet, and they've been controlled. They got CCTVs and all this shit over there. It's communist. This whole plan is for a new world order under AI surveillance, under AI control. And Trump is passing laws left and right to try to help make sure that this happens. He's already passed a law recently so that the AI is unregulated for 10 years. What we're looking at is an ultimate scenario of basically the Terminator, okay? We're gonna be hiding from these fucking Terminators, these AI robots, the fucking drones in the sky. They got hundreds of them, millions of them now, actually, in the skies, ready to take, and there's gonna be war, okay? People are gonna be running and hiding. People are gonna be going underground, and that's why the billionaires, they're all building cities and, underground bunkers so that they can survive what's coming, this AI war that is coming against humanity, and Trump is setting all that up. Notice he's talking about the Golden Dome. First of all, we've always had Iron Dome type of technology here in the United States. Trump is somehow trying to improve it, but he's really just profiting from it. He's like taking a whole bunch of money and saying that we need this Golden Dome, and it's going to be up before he leaves office. What does that mean? That means that he's going to leave us in a state of war. Why would the United States all of a sudden need a really a super high-tech Golden Dome to take down any type of missiles or anything coming this way, unless the United States is under a war, right? So by the time Trump leaves, he's going to leave us with a whole bunch of problems, and guess what? Nobody is going to call him out during these 4 years because none of these repercussions are coming until after he leaves. Do you see what's going on? Okay, so I definitely encourage you guys to look at this stuff. Look at who, they're pinning the whole blame down on Diddy. And Diddy is just a puzzle of this whole thing going on, right? It's not just Diddy, it's Clive Davis, it's Trump, okay? It's Epstein. By the way, Epstein is still alive. Trump, his first term, made sure that he could escape prison. That's why there's no video surveillance of him leaving the prison or him committing his so-called unaliving, right? Everybody says Epstein didn't kill himself. It's not just that he didn't kill himself. It's that nothing happened to him, period. He got out. They used a body double. All these rich people, with all the money they got body doubles, right? They got some other Jewish dude that looked kind of like Epstein. He kind of looked older, to be honest. And they got that guy to be the body. And then now Trump is back and he's covering up the Epstein list. It's not just Pam Bondi. It's not fucking Dan Bongino. It's not, the Patel guy, whatever I forgot his name. It's Trump, okay? Literally. Seriously, guys, wake the fuck up. And you know what? That's all for now. Shout out.
I mean, some of these foreign girls, Mr. Trump, in my country, we say hello with vagina. And
well, you could also say, as the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that.
So you have done that. Now,
I'll tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And, no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting. I want to make sure that
like
everything is good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible-looking women, and so I sort of get away.
Hear my cries, hear my call. Lend me your ears. See my fall, see my errors, know my faults. Time halts, see my loss. Know I'm lacking, backtracking. Where I met you, pistol packing. Itchy finger, trigger happy. Try to trap me, fan rap. Wiretap me, backstab me. Break the faith, fall from grace. Tell me lies, time flies. Close your eyes.